Hello students, welcome to the online MOOCs course Urban Local Governance. I am Dr. Padmavati from the Department of Management Studies, College of Engineering Guindy, Anna University, Chennai. Well students, we will discuss about rural and urban local government in today's session. After going through this module, you will be able to explain about the administrative framework rural and urban local government. You will be able to explain about the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, and you will be able to explain about the Panchayati Raj institutions and its origin, and you will also be able to explain about the functional items of rural and urban local government, and you will be able to classify the different types of urban local governance, and you will be able to highlight the rural and urban local divide which is prevailing in our country. Local government in India is constitutionalized since 1993, which includes both rural and urban local government. The jurisdiction of local government is limited to a specific area, and its functions are related to the provisions of civic amenities to the population living with its jurisdiction. The important attributes of local government are its statutory status, the power to raise finance by taxation in the area under its jurisdiction, participation of local community in decision making, freedom of act independently of central control. The meaning or definitions of local government are given by many scholars in the area of public administration. Let us look at few definitions on the local government. According to Maheshwari 1984, local government is the government by independently elected local bodies which are endowed with power, discretion and responsibility to be exercised and discharged by them without control over their decisions by any other higher authority. Their actions are, however, subject to the supremacy of national government. According to V.V. Rao, the local government is that part of the government which deals mainly with local affairs administered by authorities subordinate to the state government, but elected independently of the state authority by the qualified residents. According to Farhan Abedi 2018, he says local government is a branch of government concerned with the management of local affairs such as local area, local autonomy, local authority, local finance, etc. by the people themselves through their elected representatives. Functions of local government. If you look at the basic functions of local government, it offers the basic civic amenities like supply of drinking water, removal of waste, sanitation facilities, lighting, health facilities, preventions of epidemics, road services, etc. in order to make the living better and physically, economically, socially and culturally. Administrative framework of local government. So, local government in rural and urban areas is the responsibility of the state under the constitution. It has been given under the entry 5 of list 2 of the 7th schedule of the constitution. Central government has the ultimate responsibility of ensuring that the system of local government, both rural as well as urban, as accepted at the government conferences, is implemented by the states. Local government receives the attention of 3 separate ministries at the central level, namely Ministry of Panchayati Raj, Ministry of Rural Development and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Rural local government is an important aspect of governance and development in India. If you look at the Panchayati Raj institutions is the backbone of rural governance in India, and its establishments were mandated by the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, and Ministry of Panchayati Raj looks after all the matters relating to the Panchayati Raj bodies at central level. Historical perspectives on rural government. In 1957, Balwant Rai Mehta Committee recommended the establishments of the scheme of democratic decentralization, which ultimately came to be known as Panchayati Raj system in India. The committee recommendations include the establishments of a 3-tier Panchayati Raj system, which includes Gram Panchayat at the village level, Panchayat Samiti at the block level or intermediate level, and Zilla Parishad at the district level. There are many studies or teams committees and working groups were formed to examine the functions of Panchayati Raj system in India. The constitutionalization of Panchayat Raj bodies was introduced during Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao's government, and it emerged as 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 and came into force on 24th April 1993. 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. This act has been passed in 1992 and it is mandated the establishments of the Panchayati Raj institutions as a constitutional body in India. The act provides for the establishments of a three-tier system of rural governance with the village panchayat at the lowest level and Panchayat Samiti at the intermediate level and Zilla Parishad at the district level. The act also provides for the reservation of seats for women, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in the Panchayati Raj institutions. The act also has given a new dimension to the functioning of rural local bodies. It has brought about a greater degree of decentralization of power to the grassroots level and has made the rural local bodies more accountable to the people they serve. The act has given constitutional recognition to the Panchayati Raj institutions as institutions of local self-government in India. The act has mandated that Panchayati Raj institutions have to be constituted in every state and they have to be given adequate powers and functions to enable them to function as effective institutions of local self-government. It is a significant landmark in the evolution of grassroots democratic institutions in the country, which can be achieved through the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. It transfers the representative democracy into a participatory democracy. Let us look at the Panchayati Raj institutions and its establishment. So, Panchayati Raj institution is a three-tier system of rural governance in India, which operates at village level, intermediate level and district level. So, Panchayat means an institution of self-government for rural areas. Village means a village specified by the governor by public notification to be a village for this purpose, which includes a group of village also. Intermediate level means a level between the village and district levels specified by the governor by the public notification for this purpose districts in a state. Therefore, the act brings uniformity in the structure throughout the country. However, a state having a population not exceeding 20 lakhs may not constitute panchayats at the intermediate level. And Panchayati Raj institutions are constituted at three levels. As I said, at village level we call it as a Gram Panchayat, at block or intermediate level we call it as Panchayat Samiti, and district level we call it as Zilla Parishad. Now, let us look at the functions of Panchayati Raj institutions in India. It helps to prepare plans for economic development and social justice, helps to implement of schemes for the improvement of agriculture, rural industries and village market, helps to construct and maintain public works such as roads, bridges and culverts, etc. And it also helps to offer or provide the provisions of safe drinking water and sanitation facilities. It helps in the promotion of health and family welfare, including the provisions of primary health care services. The functions of Panchayati Raj institutions also include the promotion of education, including the establishment and maintenance of schools, implementation of poverty alleviation programs such as Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005, etc. It also helps to protect the environment and preservation of natural resources. Implementation of programs for the upliftment of women and weaker section of the society happen to be another important function of Panchayati Raj institutions, along with the promotion of social justice and empowerment of the marginalized sections of the society. Now, let us look at part 9, article 243 to 243O of the Indian Constitution, which provides for the establishment of Panchayati Raj institution in India. Article 243 deals with the definitions of district, Gram Sabha, Panchayat, village, etc. And if you see, article 243A deals with Gram Sabha, It insists a Gram Sabha may exercise such powers and perform such functions at the village level as the legislature of a state. Article 243b provides that every state shall constitute panchayats at the village, intermediate and district level. Article 243c deals with the composition of panchayats. It says legislature of a state make provisions with respect to the composition of panchayats. All the seats in a panchayat shall be filled by persons chosen by direct election from territorial constituencies in the panchayat areas. Article 243d deals with the reservation of seats. Seats shall be reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in every panchayats. And the article also provides that not less than 1/3 of the total number of seats reserved under the class 1 shall be reserved for women belonging to the scheduled caste, as the case may be the scheduled tribes. This article also provides that not less than 1/3, including the number of seats reserved for women belonging to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Article 243e talks about the duration of panchayats. This article provides that every panchayat shall continue for 5 years from the date of its first meeting, and a new election shall be completed before the expiry of its term. Article 243f deals with the disqualifications for membership. This article lays down the grounds for disqualification of a person for being chosen as or for being a member of a panchayat. Article 243g deals with powers, authority and responsibility of panchayats. It indicates that the legislature of a state may by law endow the panchayats with such powers and authority as may be necessary to enable them to function as institutions of self-government. Article 243h deals with powers to impose taxes by and funds of the panchayats. This article provides that the legislature of a state may by law authorize a panchayat to levy, collect and appropriate such taxes, duties, tolls and fees in accordance with such procedure and subject to such limits. Article 243I deals with Constitution of Finance Commission to review financial positions. This article provides for the constitution of a finance commission by the governor of state, which shall review the financial position of the panchayats and also make recommendations to the governor on the principles that should govern the distribution of tax proceeds between the state and the panchayats, the determination of taxes, duties, tolls, fees that may be assigned to or appropriated by the panchayats, the grants in aid to be given to the panchayats by the state, the measures needed to improve the financial position of the panchayats, and also any other matter referred to the commission by the governor. Article 243J deals with the audit of accounts of panchayats. It says the legislature of state by law make provisions with respect to maintenance of accounts by the panchayats and the auditing of such accounts. Article 243K deals with elections to the panchayats. This article provides that the superintendent's direction, control of preparation of electoral rolls for the conduct of all elections to the panchayats shall be vested in a state election commission consisting of a state election commissioner to be appointed by the governor. Article 243L deals with the applications to union territories. So, the provisions of this part shall apply to the union territories. Article 243M deals with the part not to apply to certain areas. So, this particular provisions of this article says that nothing in this part shall apply to the scheduled areas referred in class 1 and the tribal areas referred in class 2 of Article 244. It also says nothing in this part shall apply to states of Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram and the hills areas of state of Manipur. Article 243N deals with the continuance of existing laws and panchayats. So, the provisions of this act says provision of any law relating to panchayats shall continue to be in force until amended or repealed by a competent legislature or other competent authority, or until the expiration of 1 year from such commencement, whichever is earlier. Article 243O deals with the bar to interference by courts in electoral matters. So, no election to any panchayats shall be called in question except by an election petition presented to such authority in such manner as is provided under any law made by the legislature of a state. And this is the summary of what you get to see from this slide is part 9, article 243 to 243O of the constitutions relevant to Panchayat Raj institutions. Now, let us look at the compulsory provisions of the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act and voluntary provisions of 73rd Amendment Act. So, first let us look at the compulsory provisions of this act. It includes organizations of Gram Sabha in a village or group of villages, establishments of Panchayat at the 3 levels, which includes village, intermediate and district levels, direct elections of all seats in Panchayats at village, intermediate and district level, indirect elections to the post of chairperson of Panchayats at the intermediate district level, and 21 years to be the minimum age for contesting elections to Panchayats. Reservation of seats, both members and chairpersons, for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in Panchayat at all 3 levels. Reservations of 1/3 seats, which includes both members and chairpersons, for women in Panchayat at all the 3 levels. Fixing tenure of 5 years for Panchayats at all levels and holding fresh elections within 6 months in the event of supersession of any Panchayats. Establishment of a state election commission for conducting elections of Panchayat, and constitution of a state finance commission after every 5 years to review the financial positions of the Panchayats. All these happen to be very important or compulsory provisions of the 73rd Amendment Act, which is relevant to Panchayat Raj institutions. Now, let us look at the voluntary provisions of 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992, which includes giving representations to the members of the parliament and the state legislature in Panchayats at different levels falling within their constituencies, providing reservations of seats for backward classes in Panchayats at any level, granting powers and authority to Panchayats to enable them as autonomous bodies, devolution of powers and responsibilities upon Panchayats to prepare plans for economic development and social justice. It also includes granting financial powers to the Panchayats, that is, authorizing them to levy, collect and appropriate the tax, duties, tolls and fees, etc. We have just learned about compulsory and voluntary provisions of 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, let us check your understanding on whatever we have discussed so far. The Panchayati Raj institution constituted at intermediate level is called dash. Your options are Zilla Parishad, Village Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Gram Panchayat. And the answer for this question is Panchayat Raj institution constituted at intermediate level is called Panchayat Samiti. We have learned so far about the provisions related to rural local governance. Now, we are going to learn about urban local government and its origin and establishments in India. Urban local government refers to the administration of urban areas, which includes cities, towns and other urban settlements. The jurisdiction of urban local government is limited to a specific urban area, which is demarcated for this purpose by state government. The Constitution of India has made provisions for the establishment of urban local bodies, which are responsible for the governance and development of urban areas. Let us look at the characteristics of urban area. According to Census 2011, the urban areas have the following characteristics, which are all places with a municipality, municipal corporation, cantonment board or notified town area committee, etc. All other places which satisfy the following criteria, which includes a minimum population of 5,000, at least 75% of male working population were engaged in non-agricultural activities, a density of population of at least 400% per square kilometer. Historically, if you see, the concept of local government was originally present in rural areas alone. However, during the period of British rule, the institutions of urban local government was originated and developed. The first municipal corporation in India was set up in Madras in the year 1687, followed by Bombay and Calcutta in the year 1726. Lord Ripon was considered to be the father of local self-government in India, and Lord Ripon's resolution of 1882 has been hailed as Magna Carta of local self-government. There were many committees and commissions were appointed by central government to improve the functioning of urban local government in India. So, the system of urban government was constitutionalized through 74th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. An urban local government is dealt by three important ministries at central level, which are Ministry of Urban Development, which was created as a separate ministry in 1985, and Ministry of Defence in case of cantonment boards, and Ministry of Home Affairs in the case of union territories. Now, let us look at the constitutionalization of urban local government. The urban local bodies are constituted under the provisions of the 74th Amendment Act, which came into effect in 1993. This Amendment Act introduced the concept of decentralization of power and provided a framework for the establishment of three-tier urban local bodies, namely Nahar Panchayats, municipal councils and municipal corporations. The 74th Amendment Act 1992 is a landmark legislation that brought about a significant transformation in the functioning of urban local bodies in India. The act was passed during Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao's government and came into effect from 1st June 1993. The major objective of this act was to decentralize the power and empower local bodies to function as effective units of governance. The 74th Amendment Act inserted a new part 9A in the Constitution, which deals with the provisions related to the urban local government. The Act provides for the establishment of three types of urban local bodies, namely municipal corporations for large urban areas, municipal councils for smaller urban areas, and Nahar Panchayats for transitional areas, that is area in transition from a rural area to an urban area. The Act also provides for the constitution of ward committees in municipal corporations and municipal councils to ensure the active participation of citizens in the decision making process. The 74th Constitutional Amendment Act also lays down the procedure for the election of members to the urban local bodies and their powers, functions and financial resources. The Act provides for the preparation of a development plan for each urban area, which includes a land use plan, infrastructure plan and a plan for economic development. The Act mandates that at least 1/3 of the total number of seats in urban local bodies should be reserved for women. One of the most significant features of 74th Amendment Act was the provisions for devolution of powers and functions to urban local bodies. The Act made it mandatory for states to transfer about 18 functions of urban local bodies, including urban planning, regulations of land use and water supply, etc. This move was aimed at empowering the urban local bodies to take decisions on matters that directly affect the lives of citizens in urban areas, and this will be dealt with articles 243p to 243zg.
So, the article 243p deals with the definitions of committees, district, metropolitan areas, municipalities, etc. in this part. Article 243q deals with the constitution of municipalities. It says that every state shall constitute a Nagar Panchayat for a transitional area, a municipal council for a smaller urban area and a municipal corporation for a larger urban area. Article 243R deals with the composition of municipalities. It says that all the seats in a municipality shall be filled by persons chosen by direct election from the territorial constituencies in municipal area. For this purpose, each municipal area shall be divided into territorial constituencies to be known as wards. Article 243S talks about the constitution and composition of ward committee and so on. So, there shall be constituted ward committees consisting of one or more wards within the territorial area of municipality having a population of 3 lakhs or more. Article 243T deals with the reservation of seats. Seats shall be reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in every municipality. And it also says not less than 1/3 of the total number of seats reserved under the class 1 shall be reserved for women belonging to the scheduled caste or as the case may be by the scheduled tribes. It also says not less than 1/3 of the total number of seats to be filled by the direct elections in every municipality which shall be reserved for women, and such seats may be allotted by rotation to different constituencies in a municipality. Article 243U deals with the duration of municipalities and so on. So, every municipality, unless sooner dissolved under any law for time being in force, shall continue for 5 years from the date appointed for its first meeting and no longer. Article 243V deals with the disqualifications for membership. It says a person shall be disqualified for being chosen or for being a member of municipality if he is so disqualified by or under any law for the timing in force for the purpose of elections to the legislature of a state. Article 243W deals with the powers, authority and responsibilities of municipalities and so on. So it says legislature of a state may by law endow that the municipalities with such powers and authorities as may be necessary to enable them to function as the institutions of self-government. Article 243X deals with the powers to impose taxes by and funds of the municipalities. So the legislature of a state may by law authorize a municipality to levy, collect, appropriate such taxes, duties, tolls and fees in accordance with such procedure and subject to such limits. Article 243Y deals with the constitution of Finance Commission to review financial position. So the Finance Commission constituted under the Article 243I shall also review the financial position of the municipalities and make recommendations to the governor as to the principles, the distribution between the state and the municipalities, the grants in aid to municipalities, etc. Article 243Z deals with the audit of accounts of municipalities. The legislature of a state may by law make provisions with respect to maintenance of accounts by the municipalities and the auditing of such accounts. Article 243ZA deals with elections to the municipalities. It says the superintendence and direction and control of preparation of electoral rolls for and conduct of all elections to the municipalities shall be vested in the State Election Commission referred to in Article 243K. Article 243ZB deals with the applications of union territories. So this part of this provision shall apply to all union territories as mentioned. Article 243C indicates that nothing in this part shall apply to scheduled areas referred in class 1 and tribal areas referred in class 2 of Article 244. Article 243Z(d) deals with Committee for District Planning. So every state shall constitute at the district level a district planning committee to consolidate the plans prepared by the panchayats and municipalities in the district and to prepare a draft development plan for the district as a whole. Article 243ZE deals with the Committee for Metropolitan Planning. There shall be constituted in every metropolitan area a Metropolitan Planning Committee to prepare a draft development plan for the metropolitan area as a whole. Article 243ZF deals with the continuance of existing laws and municipalities. It says any provisions of any law relating to municipalities shall continue to be in force until amended or repealed by a competent legislature or competent authority or until the expiration of 1 year from such commencement, whichever is earlier. Article 243ZG deals with bar to interference by courts in electoral matters. So this article indicates that no election to any municipality shall be called in question except by an election petition presented to such authority in such a manner as is provided for by or under any law made by legislature of a state.
These articles ensure that the provisions of the Amendment Act are smoothly implemented without any legal conflicts. So, composition of urban local bodies. Article 243R of the Constitution of India provides for the composition of urban local bodies, and for the larger population, larger is the urban local body, and urban local bodies are headed by a mayor, chairperson, who is elected by the members of the urban local body, and powers and functions of urban local bodies, which includes planning and development of urban areas, provisions of basic services such as water supply, sewage, etc., regulation of land use, collection of taxes, maintenance of essential services, disaster management, improvement of living conditions, etc. Let us look at the administrative structure of urban local bodies, which includes executive, legislative and financial categories. Executive branch consists of mayor and chairperson and the municipal commissioner. Legislative branch consists of elected members of the urban local body, whereas financial branch consists of chief account officer or budget officers. Challenges faced by urban local bodies includes inadequate funds, lack of skilled manpower, inadequate infrastructure, political interference and corruptions are considered to be the important challenges faced by urban local bodies in India. Functional items of urban local bodies includes urban planning, regulation of land use, planning for economic and social development, roads and bridges, water supply for domestic commercial purpose, public health, sanitation, etc., fire services, urban forestry and safeguarding of interest of weaker sections of the society, slum improvement and upgradation, urban poverty alleviations, provisions of urban amenities, promotion of culture, educational, aesthetic aspects, burial and burial grounds and related provisions, cattle ponds, vital statistics which includes registrations of births and death, public amenities, and lastly regulation of slaughterhouses and tanneries. These are considered to be the 18 functional items of urban local government. And we have different types of urban local government, which includes municipal corporations, municipalities, notified area committee, town area committee, cantonment board, township, port trust and special purpose agencies. Municipal corporation is a local government that governs a city or town with a population of more than 3 lakhs. A municipal corporation is responsible for providing essential services like water supply, drainage, sanitation, etc. It has 3 authorities, namely council, standing committee and commissioners. Corporation council is headed by mayor and council of elected representative. Standing committee is created to facilitate the working of corporations, and municipal commissioner is responsible for the implementations of decisions taken by council at standing committee. Municipalities are established to govern the towns and smaller cities. It is headed by chairman and council of elected representatives. Like municipal corporations, a municipality also has 3 authorities, namely council, standing committee and chief executive officer. A notified area committee is created for the management of 2 types of areas: a fast developing town due to industrializations, a town which does not fulfill all the conditions necessary for the constitutions of a municipality. This is neither an elected body nor a statutory body. It is established by notifications in the government gazette, and hence it is called notified area committee. Town area committee is a setup for the administration of small towns. It is a semi-municipal authority and is entrusted with a limited number of civic functions like drainage, road, street lighting, etc. It is created by a separate act of state legislature. Cantonment board is establishment for municipal administration for civilian population in the cantonment area. It is delimited area where the military forces and troops are permanently stationed. Township is a type of urban government established by large public enterprises to provide civic amenities to its staff and workers who live in the housing colonies built near the plants. Port trusts are established in the port areas like Mumbai, Calcutta, Chennai and so on for 2 purposes. One is to manage and protect the ports, and secondly to provide civil amenities to its stakeholders. It is created by the Act of Parliament and it consists of both elected and nominated members. And lastly, a special purpose agency, it is a type of local government that is set up to carry out a specific task or function. For example, the Bangalore Metropolitan Transport Corporation is a special purpose agency that is responsible for providing public transport in Bangalore. It is an agency based function and not area based one. It is also considered to be a functional local bodies, which includes town improvement trust, urban development authorities, water supply and sewage boards, housing boards, pollution control boards, electricity supply boards and city transport boards. So, these local governments play a crucial role in providing essential services to the people living in urban areas and ensuring their overall development and growth. This is the data on local government. As of now, number of urban villages, urban local bodies, municipal corporations, municipalities, town panchayats, and similarly for rural villages, etc. Now, let us check your understanding and whatever we have discussed so far. A municipal council is constituted to look after a dash. Your options are smaller urban areas, larger urban areas, transitional areas, Nahar Panchayats. The answer for the question is a municipal council is constituted to look after smaller urban areas. And last part of this today's session is rural and urban divide in India. The rural and urban divide in India refers to socio-economic disparities that exist between the rural and urban areas of the country. It is a long-standing issue in India. Despite the country's significant economic growth over the past few decades, the gap between these two has only widened. Hence, it is a divide and it is a very complex issue involving a variety of economic, social and cultural factors that has contributed to these disparities between the urban and rural, which includes broadly economic disparity. One of the primary causes of rural urban divide in India is economic disparity between two areas, and it is typically include agriculture, with most of the population engaged in farming or related activities in the rural areas, where agriculture is an important sector of Indian economy and accounts for a significant portions of country's GDP. However, agriculture sector in India is plagued by a variety of issues, including low productivity, poor infrastructure and lack of investment. As a result, farmers in rural areas are often unable to earn a sufficient income, leading to poverty and economic instability. On the other hand, urban areas in India are home to a range of industries and business, and country's urban centers are hubs for economic activity. The urban areas of India have better infrastructure, access to markets and more opportunities for education and employment. As a result, people in urban areas tend to earn higher incomes than those in rural areas, and the gap between the two continues to widen as well. So, just to give a brief about the social disparities, it is this rural and urban divide in India is also characterized by social disparities, particularly in terms of access to health care and education. Rural areas of India are often lagging in basic healthcare facilities, with a shortage of doctors and hospitals in many areas. This has resulted in poor health outcomes for people living in rural areas. And education is also a significant issue in rural areas, where access to schools and quality education which is limited. Cultural disparity includes factors contribute to rural urban divide in India, which has a traditional social structure and values which can limit opportunities for social mobility and economic advancements. And lastly, government measures. The Indian government has implemented a range of measures over the years to address rural and urban divide in the country. Even the 73rd and 74th Amendment Act of this Indian Constitution, which established the Panchayat and municipalities respectively, were significant steps towards decentralizing the power and resources and promoting local governance. The government has also launched various schemes to support agriculture and rural development, such as National Rural Livelihood Mission, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. These schemes aim to provide financial and technical support to farmers and promote sustainable agriculture practices. And in recent years, the government has also launched initiative to promote urban development and improve the living conditions in urban areas. Programs such as Smart City Mission, National Urban Livelihood Mission, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for urban, etc. So, some of the rural development programs and programs for skill development, programs for digital India, urbanization and education related schemes have been introduced by government to shorten the urban rural divide. To summarize, in today's session we have learned about the administrative framework of rural and urban local government. We have also learned about 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act and its provisions, which leads to the establishment of Panchayat Raj institutions and municipalities. And we have also learned about the Panchayat Raj institutions and its functions for the rural government, local governance. And we had also learned about the functional items of rural and urban local government, and we had also classified the different types of urban local government in India by highlighting the rural and urban divide as last part of our presentation. Thank you, students.